Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you guys the third episode of building Teth in LEGO. This week I managed to get quite a lot of progress done, most of it being focused around the mountain. Wasn't able to get any further progress on the terrain just because of some ordering parts problems, but I'll be able to focus more on that next week. Of course, if you are new around here, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a like, but without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright guys, we're starting off this week with some progress already made. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I've done so far. So I've basically done this terrain kind of border type of deal over here. You can see I've got the black border here, but I need to have something on the side as the terrain built up. So I decided to do like the rocks and terrain underneath the actual ground. Very similar to what I did with Devron. And I'm really happy with how it's looking. I decided to add in some light gray this time instead of just keeping it dark gray. Just to kind of match the light gray that I'm going to be throwing into the mountain as well. The only thing I might change is maybe reduce the amount of studs and cheese slopes thrown in there. It might be a little bit too busy. Love to hear what you guys think about that in the comments. And I might try to make this transition a little bit more seamless. I'm not too sure on that. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it, but might mess around with it a little bit more just to see if I can get it to look a little bit better. As you may notice, I've also got to work on the cracks over here in the side. And just a little bit of work, just kind of built up this area and added another one there. So not too much, but I do plan on working on that more in this episode, as well as the mountain right here. So let's just go ahead and start working on that. So it's been a while since the time lapse, and as you can see, I've done a lot of progress actually off camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop right into showing you guys what I've managed to get done so far. I want to go ahead and start off with this side wall here, which I absolutely love. I think it really adds a whole ton to the mock instead of just having a plain gray wall. I mean, it just adds a whole ton. It really kind of fills that space up for that kind of what would usually be a pretty boring spot of the mock. It's now actually turned into one of my favorite areas. And I kind of want to show you guys what I've done. I touched on this in the last episode, but this time around I've actually kind of fully shown the technique off. And so I've basically used slopes. I kind of have a little bit of a demo over here. And usually if you put these slopes next to each other, they kind of fit in perfectly. But if you raise them up a couple plates like I did on that bottom slope, creates a nice little gap there. And then that kind of continues on as you continue to pile slopes. And I just kind of did that in different ways here. If you guys can kind of see what I decided to do. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turns out. And as you can see from where the slopes end, this is kind of the height I want to get the mountain to be. And so I can't plan on having another big kind of crack in the wall there, and then maybe throwing in two other little ones or something like that. I'll kind of figure it out as I go. You may also notice that the mountain itself is built up pretty significantly. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a closer look on kind of what I decided to do on that. I also extended the light bluish gray coloring, made that spot a little bit bigger. As you can see, I've also started one over there. And actually, if we move around the mock, you can see that I've fully built the mountain. So this is kind of the shape I'm going for. Kind of comes out in the middle, and it's kind of the same on either side on the end. But overall, really liking the technique that I've used so far. It's a pretty well-known technique, I'd say, at this point, but I'm a fan of it. We'll go ahead and take a look at the back, kind of see the inner workings of that. I've just basically built up bricks, so not using a ton of bricks, but I'm also making it pretty sturdy. You know, this thing isn't going to be falling over anytime soon. And while it's good to save as many bricks as possible, you do want to make sure that you are making it sturdy, because if one brick is a little loose, it can end up messing up your whole mountain. Like, you can end up having this slope being a little bit lower than the actual brick height of the slope next to it, so then that'll screw up your entire mountain. It's happened to me before, so make sure you build it sturdy without wasting too many bricks to ensure your mountain can actually come together. Wasn't able to get any terrain work done this week just because of some parts ordering. Seller accidentally listed it as lavender when it's actually medium lavender, so had to cancel that order. But we've got lavender plates coming in the mail as we speak, so next week around I'll be able to get some further progress done on the terrain here. But overall, I think this mock is coming together very, very nicely. I'm super happy with the progress I've made so far. So next week around, hopefully I can sort out some of the basic terrain, my plans for the basic terrain. I don't plan on going too heavy with the plates this time around, but we'll see what happens, as well as getting some further progress of the mountain, you know. Just kind of want to slowly build this up as the weeks go by as I work on other projects. But that is going to be about the end of this video. So if you did go on to enjoy it, I greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a like. But other than that, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!